back for another book review. Today we are going to be talking about Mexican magic. I'll have the cover over here because I already had to return it back to the library, so voila, the book. So as you might have guessed, this book, the author walks you kind of through the culture of Mexican and like Mexican specific magic. There obviously are going to be some that might relate to other countries in that general region, and some of it you could kind of see some similarities to like voodoo and stuff just because it's like right there. There's a little bit of commingling of some similar stuff, but it is very distinctly just for Mexican culture. It talks about some random stuff. It's got some rituals, some spells, ingredients, animals, just a little bit of stuff throughout. I gave it a 3. It's a meh, like right dead center, mostly because I can acknowledge it is really not for me. While I absolutely love Day of the Dead, I love that holiday so much. Like, I love the main premise behind it. There's a lot of traditional Mexican culture that's just not my thing, specifically when it comes to magic. And that is the heavy influence of Christianity, which was all throughout this book. So there is so much of calling this saint, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, just not my jam. And that's why I say it's kind of similar to voodoo. A lot of voodoo practitioners also have that as well. It's just something that kind of occurred in that like general region, broadly, of the world, where magic commingled into Christianity in a really weird, crazy hodgepodge thing. And every spot did it a little different. But like, seriously, that general vibe of the world, they did that. And for some people, it works great, and that's awesome. I'm not one of those people. I really like to not have a lot of like overly very Christian vibe things in my craft. And having the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and Mother Mary, and all of the saints, and just not my thing. So keeping that in mind, that's a lot of this book. It also doesn't like explain things. It kind of assumes you know a lot already. You already have a decent understanding of the Christian influence, of Mexican culture, and of magic in general. It's just got a lot of that, like just assuming you know stuff. And it is heavily based on her experience and her, and a lot of what I call like the I statements throughout the book, which is not my favorite. A little bit here and there is fine, but it's a lot of her story, her experience. And like, even when I reread my book, Path of a Witch, oh my god, I hate that part of it now so much that when I did the revised edition for my 10th book, yeah, I took that out because I hate it. And it's throughout, and this book does this a lot. And the other main thing with this book is that it only seems to be written for a very specific audience. Shocker, ain't me. But again, I love Day of the Dead. It's amazing. But also, like, I'm obviously not Hispanic. I did not marry anyone of that culture. And so it's outsider looking in perspective, but also this book is not written for us at all. It is specifically if you live in Mexico, or you are like a very immediate descendant of someone from Mexico, because like you've got to be like maybe first or second gen outside of there. And after that, I don't know how much, unless the culture really stayed alive in your family, which is potential because they do tend to do that from what I've seen. But yeah, it's really written more for like you have to be part of that group. I'm not, so I can't say how accurate that side of things are. But some of it, I mean, I've read a few other of the like Mexican specific authors. It's kind of mentioned, but kind of not. So I don't know. It feels like it's really just for those people. And again, also, you have to have that heavy Christian influence on top of that. Which, weirdly enough, the next thing is that the ethics in this book are like iffy at best. And that's like another reason I kind of was having a little deja vu feeling of like, wow, this feels very similar to when I've read some of the voodoo books throughout the year, because it's very similar. The beliefs don't align for me, and like some of the stuff is pretty not what I would do or recommend. It's, you know, my magical morals are not the same as theirs, but the only specific one I really want to go into, which don't get me wrong, there were others, but this just one in particular, I couldn't let it go, because what do you mean? Again, I have this with so many books, but this one is just, no. And there's a TikTok song that was going around for a while there of "You Can't Eat at Everybody's House," and that song describes this so much, which sucks, because have you had authentic Mexican food? It's so good. But like, no, you can't eat at everybody's house. So this comes from page 110. When the underwear has been worn overnight, the fabric is impregnated with the sweat and the pheromones of the person who wore it. Bring the water to a boil, add in hibiscus flowers, add brown sugar to taste, strain it, and let the water cook overnight. Now, all you have to do is to get your target, usually your man, to drink the water. I'm gonna be so for real. Don't do that. And this is just like, there should be a threshold where no matter your religion, there should just be a line of like, that's a little too weird. That's getting into some really freaky weird stuff that like the average person ain't gonna be into. Like, it's the same vibe as the people who buy like prison panties and are like freaking out over it. Like, it's giving that same vibe. Most people not gonna want to do that. Like, you're washing your partner's underwear because you live together and the chores need to be done. Not a whole lot of people are into that stuff. And this is just like that level of like, maybe they just don't do that. That's just a great option. Also, so disgusting. Who wants that? Again, minus that type of person who would buy those sorts of, but who would do that? Who would want that? And like, if you found out your partner did that, are you not gonna be like, what the fuck, and leave? Like, no, that's not normal. Nobody should be doing that. That is just, that's getting into some creepy territory, and I'm trying to respect that it's not my culture, but also I feel like just as a whole, we're all humans. That's nasty. What are you doing? Just don't do that. Just don't. And again, the same thing of like, consent should super matter, but like also like if you're making somebody ingest something, that just gives the ick. And like, have you done like STI testing? Because I would want that. And like, what if you have a yeast infection? Like, there's just so many things that are not discussed, and it's just gross. Why would you do that? Like, I can't even imagine my husband staying with me if I was like, by the way, I decided to do that to you. He's gonna leave and probably call a mental institution, because that's not normal behavior. And again, I don't think it's particularly sanitary, like maybe with it boiling, but even then, no, don't do that. There's so many better options than that. That's like the weirdest, creepiest why. It's getting on the same level as the date that's been in your body for a week, but I think that could actually potentially kill both partners in that scenario. Toxic shock syndrome is a thing, and the mold that could be involved with that. This is just nasty, but again, it kind of fits some of the ethics throughout the book. So I'm just trying to pump the brakes. Personal review, it's a 1, because what the F are you doing? Oh my god, gross. Keeping in mind it's not my culture, trying to be a little more, you know, not caring and a little more, you know, pulled back from just my own experience versus what other people might get from it. But why did the author decide to write that? And bigger question, why did the publisher let that exist? I have a lot of questions for these publishing houses and their editors. Like, do you read the books you publish? Because I don't think you do. Who publishes that? Just, anyways, that was the only one in particular I wanted to talk about, because that one messed me up for a while. So I would recommend this only if you have, like, you're either Mexican or you are like very close direct descendant of somebody from Mexico. We're talking like first, second generations away, and you want to learn a little bit about the culture and specifically the magic within. Otherwise, no, you can just avoid this one. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Where would you rate it? Because again, my personal, it's a 1, but I'm trying to be generous. and acknowledge that other people have different beliefs, but also if you're soaking panties into a tea and then feeding it to your partner without them knowing, I feel like that's just, I don't know. I'm feeling generous, so I'm giving it a 3, but it does give me the biggest ick on that front. And so I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Would that make it a 1 to you? Because I feel like sometimes I re-look at my own reviews and I'm like, why did I give it so much credit? Like, I was in a good mood apparently, because like, no. And so I don't know. Where would you rate that? Because again, my personal, it's a 1, but I'm trying to be objective, acknowledge it's not my culture, but also like, what the F? That doesn't need to be part of your culture. That's just weird. So I would just let me know in the comments down below. If you want more from me, I post about 3 or 4 times a week over on Patreon. So if you want to check it out, I cover everything from like Everything is Tuberculosis to going through the Shamanic Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Penczak. I got a little bit of everything over there. So thank you so much to my patrons. And if you want to buy my books, they're always linked down below. And until next time, thank you so much for coming along, and I'll see y'all soon.